Hello, welcome to your Thursday math video. If you are watching this video, it means that you have completed your required assignments for math this week and you're just tuning in for a little review, which is great. Doing the extra effort from home is always much appreciated. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I have some riddles here for you guys, and we're going to see if we can figure out the answer to these riddles. So if you look at the first one, it says, I am any figure with 4 sides and 4 angles. Who do you think I am? So it's any 4-sided figure. What kind of polygon would that be? And hopefully you're thinking quadrilateral. Okay, a quadrilateral is what we call any 4-sided figure. And if a figure has 4 sides, it's also going to have 4 angles. Okay, the next one. I am any closed shape with straight sides. Who am I? Any closed-in shape that has straight sides. So that could be triangles, that could be quadrilaterals, that could be pentagons, hexagons, decagons. What do we call all of those particular shapes? They're closed, they have straight sides, kind of like the ones you see on the outside of this page. Starts with the P. Polygons. Okay, so who am I? A polygon, I guess, singular. Okay, if you count my sides, you will find 3. Who could I be? So you guys know this. What do we call a 3-sided shape? A triangle. Tri means 3, so this word means 3 angles because 3 sides means 3 angles as well. All right, I have 6 sides and the same amount of angles. What shape am I? Remember that hint I told you, 6. Think of the X in 6, just like the X in the name of this shape. Hexagon is correct, if that's what you were thinking. A hexagon has 6 sides and 6 angles. All right, look at my angles. There are 5. Who am I? So if there's 5 angles, there's 5 sides, and what would we call a 5-sided polygon? A pentagon, that is. Excellent. I have some more riddles for you guys. These ones might be a little bit harder. I am a parallelogram with 4 right angles. My sides are not all the same length. Who do you think I am? So this shape is a parallelogram, which we didn't talk a whole lot about. It wasn't in our book, but a parallelogram just means all of the sides opposite are parallel. So when we learned about squares and rectangles and rhombuses, those are all parallelograms because all of their opposite sides are parallel, running straight across from one another. They will never cross or touch. So we're looking for a 4-sided shape that has all right angles, but all the sides are not the same. So that tells me it's not a square. Who do you think I am? It is a rectangle. All right, if we hop over to the next one right beside it, I have more sides than a quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals have 4. So I have more than 4 sides, but fewer sides than a hexagon. Hexagons have 6. So what number is in between 4 and 6? Well, the number 5. So a 5-sided shape is a pentagon. Okay, I am a polygon with 6 angles. Who am I? 6 angles means 6 sides, so a hexagon. All right, I have 4 sides that are always the same length, but no right angles. What shape am I? All four sides are the same, so that makes me think of a square, but no right angles. So then it can't be a square. Do you remember? It is a rhombus. A rhombus has four equal sides, but no right angles. Okay, look at my angles. There are three. Two are acute, and the other one is right. Who am I? Well, the big hint here is that there are three angles. So a shape that has three angles is a triangle. Next week, one of our lessons is specifically on triangles, and since it tells us this triangle has one angle that is right, specifically we would call this triangle a right triangle. So we will learn about that next week. Okay, the next riddle. I am a quadrilateral, so four sides. All my sides are always the same length. I have all right angles. Who do you think I am? So four equal sides and four right angles, that's a very special quadrilateral we would call a square. And lastly, I am any quadrilateral with two sets of parallel sides. Can you guess who I am? Any quadrilateral that has two sets of parallel sides. That's why I said before, opposite sides are parallel, they will never cross or touch. So this could be a rectangle, a square, or a rhombus, and the one word that would describe all three of those is the one we really didn't talk a lot about, but I mentioned a couple times, a parallelogram. It has the word parallel right in it. It means all the opposite sides are parallel. All right, so that was our little riddle using some of the shapes that we've learned. I want to share with you guys now a video, a Math Antics video on quadrilaterals specifically. So let me see if I can get this going.
Hi, welcome to Math Antics. In this video, we're going to learn about special kinds of polygons called quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral is just a fancy math word for a polygon that has exactly four sides and four angles, like this one. You should recognize this shape, of course. It's a square. And a square is a special kind of quadrilateral. It's a quadrilateral because it has four sides, and it's special because all four of those sides are exactly the same length, and all four of its angles are exactly the same size. In fact, they're all right angles. Notice also that a square is formed by two pairs of parallel sides. These two opposite sides are parallel, and these two opposite sides are parallel. We'll see why that's important in a few minutes. Okay, so squares are an important type of quadrilateral, but we're going to make some changes to this square to see what other types of quadrilaterals there are. The two things that we can change are the sides and the angles. Let's start by changing the sides. Let's stretch our square in one direction so that one pair of sides is now longer than the other pair. This is what we call a rectangle. A rectangle is a quadrilateral that still has four equal angles. Notice that when we stretch the square, the angles didn't change at all. But it does not have four equal sides. Again, notice that just like a square, a rectangle is made from two pairs of parallel sides. All right, so that's a rectangle, but going back to our square, what if instead of changing the sides, we had just changed the angles, like this? What we have now is called a rhombus. A rhombus is a quadrilateral that still has four equal sides, but it does not have four equal angles. And once again, just like the square and rectangle, the rhombus is made from two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, going back once more to our square. What if we try changing both the sides and the angles? Here's what we end up with, and we call it a parallelogram. It's called a parallelogram because even though its sides are not all equal and its angles are not all equal, it's still made from two pairs of parallel sides. Get it? Parallelogram. Now wait a second. If that's the definition of a parallelogram, a quadrilateral that's made from two pairs of parallel sides, Then wouldn't all these other shapes be parallelograms too? Exactly. All of these shapes are parallelograms, just like they're all quadrilaterals. It's just that we have special names for them if their angles are all equal, a rectangle, or if their sides are all equal, a rhombus, or if both their sides and their angles are all equal, a square. Okay then, if all the quadrilaterals we've seen so far are examples of parallelograms, what's an example that's not a parallelogram? Well, to see one, let's start over with our square again. But this time, we're going to change it by moving just one of its vertices, like so. Now, one of the pairs of sides is still parallel, but the other is not. And a quadrilateral that has only one pair of parallel sides is called a trapezoid. Well, actually, this is where classifying quadrilaterals gets a little messy. And that's because this sort of shape is called a trapezoid in America, but it's called a trapezium in other countries, like the UK. Trapezoid, trapezium, trapezoid, trapezium. It's a trapezoid! Oh. At least they both start with the word trap, so it's not too confusing. Yet. Okay, so this quadrilateral is a trapezoid, or trapezium, because it has only one pair of parallel sides, and the other sides are not parallel. Here are a couple more examples of quadrilaterals that have only one set of parallel sides. All right then, what about quadrilaterals that have no parallel sides at all, like this one? These opposite sides are not parallel, and these opposite sides aren't parallel either. So what do we call this kind of polygon? Now here's the really confusing part. In America, this is sometimes called a trapezium. But isn't that what they call a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides in the UK? Yep. Unfortunately, the same word is used to describe two different things in two different countries. Trapezium, 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 trapezium. Well, at least they both like football. But to keep things clear at Mathantics, we're not going to call a quadrilateral that has no parallel sides a trapezium. We don't think it needs a special name, so we're just going to call it a quadrilateral. So to summarize, any polygon that has exactly four sides is called a quadrilateral. And if it has no parallel sides, we still just call it a quadrilateral. But if it has one and only one pair of parallel sides, we call it a trapezoid or a trapezium. Or, if it has two pairs of parallel sides, we call it a parallelogram. And you've already seen that there's several types of parallelograms, called rectangles, rhombuses, and squares. All right, so that's the basics of classifying quadrilaterals.
All right, guys, so that video just reviewed our different types of quadrilaterals. And so now the last thing I want to do is a little activity called Polygonesort. So we're going to take a look at some shapes, and we need to figure out if they are first a polygon or not, and if they are, if they have a special name. So remember, in order for a shape to be a polygon, it has to be closed up. It has to have straight sides also, and it has to be a flat figure, not a three-dimensional figure. So when we look at shape A, would we say this is a polygon? Has four sides to it. It's straight, it's closed. So yes, it is a polygon. And now we need to figure out what we would call it. What special name does it have? Well, to name a polygon or a quadrilateral, in this case, because it has four sides, we want to see if there's anything special about the sides or angles. So I see that opposite sides are parallel, top and bottom are the same length, and the sides are the same length, and that has perfect right angles. So we would call this a rectangle. All right, letter B, would this be a polygon? Is it closed? Yes. Does it have straight sides? No. Even though it is not a polygon, we still know it's called a circle, but it is not a polygon. Letter C, is this shape a polygon? Is it flat, closed up and have straight sides? Yes. And what special name would we give it? It has 3 sides, so it would be a triangle. Okay, very good. We look at shape D. Is this a polygon? Does it have straight sides? Is it closed? Is it a flat plane figure? Yes, it is. And then what would we call it? Well, in order to name it, we need to count the sides. So if we look at the sides of our shape, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, what do we call a 10-sided shape? A decagon. Okay, so this is a polygon, and we call it specifically a decagon. All right, let's look at shape E. Would this be a polygon? Is it a flat plane shape? Yes. Is it closed up? Yes. Does it have straight sides? No. There is a curved side up in the top left corner, so no, this is not a polygon. And how about letter F? Would this be a polygon? Well, letter E was no, and letter F is no also, because this one has 2 curved corners. All right, moving on, letter G. Is this a polygon? Is it closed up, flat, and does it have straight sides? Yes. Okay, so if it is a polygon, what special name does it have? Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, well, we did not learn what a 12-sided shape is called, but I will share with you that you can either call it a 12-gon, just like the number 12 and then gon, G-O-N, or it's called a dodecagon. Dodecagon. So that's kind of interesting. Fun fact for the day. All right, letter H, is this a polygon? Yes, it's all closed up and has straight sides. When we count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a quadrilateral, but does it have a special name? I'm going to say yeah, it does, because the top and the bottom are parallel. So this only has one set of parallel sides. So we would call it a trapezoid or a trapezium if we were in the UK. But we're not, so we're going to stick with trapezoid. All right, letter I. Is this a polygon? Looks like a crescent moon. It is not a polygon for the fact that it has curved edges, curved paths. Is letter J a polygon? Kind of looks like a Pac-Man. No, it's not a polygon because it has curved paths also. Is K a polygon? No. Has curved paths, even though we would call that shape a heart. Is letter L a polygon? Straight sides, closed up, plain figure, yes. And based on how many sides it has, what would we call it? I count 6 sides, so it is a hexagon. Hexagon. Excellent. All right, last one, last page. Letter M, is this a polygon? It's all closed up, flat figure, straight sides, so yes. Does it have a special name? Careful with this one. It looks like a rectangle, but it does not have perfect right angles. So this was mentioned in the video. It has 2 sets of parallel sides, so it is a parallelogram. A parallelogram. It's a big, long word. Or we could have just called it a quadrilateral. All right, letter N looks like a lightning bolt. Is this a polygon? I'm going to say yes, it's closed up, it's flat, and has straight sides. And what could we name it? Let's see how many sides it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it's not a dodecagon. This is an 11-gon. There is a special name for that. I had to look it up. It's called a hendecagon. Hendecagon, or just an 11-gon. Those kinds of shapes aren't super common. All right, letter O. Is this a polygon? It's all flat and closed and straight sides, so yes. What would we call it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Okay, we know what an 8-sided figure is called, right? Think of an octopus, so it's an octagon. An octagon. All right, letter P. Is this a polygon? It's flat, it's closed, it has straight sides, so yes. And how many sides? One a little too far. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So another 6-sided shape. Call it a hexagon. Very good. Letter Q. Is this a polygon? Looks like a big block letter L. Yes, it's flat, straight sides, closed up. What do we call it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So this is another hexagon. And then letter R. Is this a polygon? Looks like part of a triangle, but it's missing the tip. No, because it's not closed up, this would not be a polygon. All right, guys, I hope that the review was beneficial to you. Tomorrow, I will not be posting another math video. Instead, use Friday as a day to catch up on any of your other work, any of your special classes that you haven't done yet, or maybe just use it as a day to really focus on your math facts. Maybe hop on Study Island, do some review there. There's lots of math facts games online, or simply get out some flashcards as well. If you have any questions or need anything, as always, please reach out to me and I will be in touch. Enjoy the rest of your day.